Hey folks, so it's now time to get ready for my long run today. This is actually part of an unofficial event called MoMoRoGO, or Moose Mountain Road Go. And the entry fee for this is just simply making a donation to the local food bank. Now I'm hoping to get around about 60 kilometres done today. I'm going to be using some of the gear that I'm going to be using in my 200-mile race just to try and get familiar with it, namely things like poles. And this tent that you can see behind me, this is actually going to be our race HQ when it comes to race day. So I'm just going to show you some of the things that I'm going to be using today, and then we'll get cracking. I am actually going to be keeping things pretty simple because I am going to be kind of self-crewing today. And what I've got here, these are the poles that I'm going to hopefully try to use. They are fairly new. I've only used them once or twice. I don't generally run with poles, so today's definitely going to be a learning experience for me. I may find them a little bit cumbersome. We'll find out once I hit that Moose Mountain Road. And this is my goodie bag. This has got all my food in here. Again, it's just simple things. Some of the stuff I typically use on a race day. We've got some crisps or chips in there, bananas. I've got some homemade scones, Pop-Tarts. These were something that I discovered at a race last year and I absolutely loved them. What else have we got in here? Mars bars, chocolate is always good. I also have some grated cheese sandwiches in here. I tend to get hungry, particularly during meal times when I'm doing races, so I have to make sure that I get some of that stodgy stuff inside of me. And we have these little fruit jelly snacks here, and these are oat bars that are covered with fruit. And then of course more jelly sweets here. I'm trying to get a mix of carbohydrate and sugars and things like that just to give me those energy boosts. I've got some salt tabs here. It's going to be a warm day today. I've got to make sure that I get the salts inside of me. I've got some bottles that I'm going to be carrying. Again, I'm going to have to refill these each time I go up and down because I don't think that'll be enough for the day. And then obviously I'm going to have more water and more Gatorade than this, but that's what I'm going to be filling my bottles with. And then they're all going to go into my trusty Salomon backpack here. I am looking at other backpacks for the race day. I've had a couple of recommendations. I'm hoping to get a hold of one of those later today, and then I'm going to give that a try on one of my longer mountain runs over the coming weeks, and of course I will share that experience with you. So yeah, that's my basics for the day. Let's get to it. Righty-ho, here I am at the foot of Moose Mountain Road. I'm going to be running up and down here for the next few hours until I hit 50 or 60k, depending on how things go. It's going to get a little bit toasty today. We're looking at temperatures of around about 20 degrees, so I need to make sure that I really do stay hydrated going up and down here. So one thing I'm not used to doing is carrying a backpack, so this is going to be quite a challenge for me because I really aren't used to carrying that heavier weight on my back. So yeah, for sure this is going to be great practice for the Divide 200 in September. Okay, off we go. Now this road is around about 7.5k from the bottom parking lot to the upper parking lot, so that's going to be a 14k round trip for every ascent that I do, and there's around about 500 meters or 1500 feet, give or take, of ascent on each slope. So if I do the 3, 4 or 5 laps that I'm anticipating, that's going to be one hell of a lot of elevation for me today. I was expecting to kind of be out here on my own today. The parking lot at the bottom was pretty busy, but I hadn't seen any runners. But luckily I have seen about 5 or 6 other people out here doing this event with me today. A couple of familiar faces. Yeah, So far so good. I anticipate each lap taking around about 2 hours. Obviously there's a lot of walking on the way up, but we should make up for some of that time on the way back down. And this road, it doesn't open until May 15th. And during the winter they do get a lot of snow up here, so they close this road down for wintry conditions. But come May 15th onwards, it does get very busy because Moose Mountain is actually quite a popular hike for a lot of people during those summer months. That's the prairies over there. You won't see it today because it's too hazy, but you can see Calgary in the distance. And excuse for a breather. This is one tough climb, but that is why I'm here. Yay! This is the point where we turn around. Actually, the lap number 1 ascent, that wasn't too bad at all. And let's turn around. This going down should be a little bit easier. You get some pretty cool views on the way up and down. Oh my gosh, blue skies, snow-capped mountains, it's gorgeous. One of the things I can't do back home where I live is get some really good downhills like this. And this is obviously 4.5 miles up, 4.5 miles down. So this is great work for strengthening those quads, both on the ups and the downs, for when I do my race later in the year. And I'm pretty sure that my quads are going to be not very happy with me come tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm coming up to my second summit, if you like, of Moose Mountain Road. It's getting a little tougher now. I can definitely feel the climbs in my legs, and I've only done 2. It's also getting quite warm. I've got through a good 1.5 litres of fluids already, and I've been going for about 2.5, 2 hours 45 minutes, something like that. But on this one at the bottom, hopefully the hubster will be waiting for me. I might be able to drop off some of the weight of this pack because it is getting a little heavy. I suppose I should toughen up really and just suck it up, buttercup. But yeah, I've still got a few months to get used to carrying that heavy weight on my back. All right, I'm nearly there. Catch you soon. Okay, I'm going up for lap number 3 now. This time I'm going to use my poles. I've been carrying them so far, so I think it's about time I need to use them. So we're not sure how I'm going to get on, but only one way to find out. That's 3 times up Moose Mountain Road, using the poles this time. I kind of feel like they do make things a little bit easier. They certainly help you to push up those hills a little bit better. I think these ones that I'm using are probably just a little bit too long for me. But they're certainly light. I haven't got any blisters, which is good. But then I've only used them for around about, I don't know, 4.5 miles. But I think I'm probably going to stick with them. I quite like using them. I've just got to get my technique a little bit more refined. All right, downhill again for the next 40-45 minutes. I'm not sure that I've got another repeating me today or not. If I finish this, well, I will finish this loop, and that will give me the marathon distance of 42 kilometres. Whether I decide to carry on and go for another 14k remains to be seen. I'll see how I feel once I get to the bottom again. Guess what, guys? I decided to do my fourth and final lap. So, heading back up the mountainside again. Legs are tired. The sun's kind of setting. But I think I have got just one more in me. And then I really do need to stop. So there you go. 4 summits of Moose Mountain Road. And my legs are killing me. It's all downhill to the finish now. Well, kind of. Oh, here we go. Obviously, I've finished my run up Moose Mountain Road, and as you will have seen, I managed 4 laps up and down, which gave me a total of around about 36 miles and nearly 7,000 feet of ascent, which I'm really happy about because that is perfect preparation for my big race in September. The gear I was wearing was fine, I had no problems whatsoever. Using the poles was certainly interesting for the first time. Thankfully I didn't get any blisters, and I'm pretty sure that they did help me in a little way to climb those mountain roads towards the end. Now the backpack that I was using yesterday was actually the Salomon backpack, which has served me perfectly in all my previous races. But because the Divide 200 is going to be a much bigger race and I'm going to have to carry even more stuff, I have since been out and purchased another backpack, and that's this one, the Ultimate Direction 20 litre Fast Packer. And this is the one that I'm hoping to be using at my race in September. And of course I will be doing a future video showing how I get on when using this particular backpack. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed my little run this weekend and our little camping adventure here in Kananaskis. If you have, please do consider subscribing, and of course hit that like button if you've enjoyed what you've been watching. In the meantime, thanks as ever for joining me, and I shall see you all again on our next adventure.